Hey guys, so I get a lot of questions on my nose ring, and especially since I have this little hoop with the little ball on it, I get a lot of questions on it and all the time. Although I have done a video talking about care tips and how I care for my piercing and how I finally got it to heal, some new questions have come along and I figured I'd just do a refresher video just in case people don't feel like going all the way back. This is my second time having my nose pierced. I got it pierced in the same exact spot as I had pierced originally. It did hurt a bit because there was scar tissue, but I didn't want two holes or two dots on my nose. I just didn't want that. And originally when I first let my nose go ahead and close, actually I did it not by my choice. I was at the airport and I remember I was going through security check. At that time, I would put any old cheapy jewelry in my nose and just, be about it. It's cute. That's all that really mattered. So I remember my nose ring kept making the scanner go off. So I had to take my nose ring out and I walked through there and I could not find my nose ring after that. I just said, forget it, it hurts. I'm not gonna try to force anything through it because it had never really healed. I let it close for about 1.5 years until I went and got it re-pierced, and I told my piercer about it. And you guys, my piercer is Marilyn at HTC in downtown Phoenix or uptown Phoenix. That's the only HTC that I go to. That's the only piercing place I go to. That's the only place I go to buy my jewelry. And it's because I really trust them. They know what they're talking about. They're not gonna do something if it's not gonna be healthy for you. They absolutely will not. Like, I remember, this is off topic, but I went to go get a dermal piercing, just like a tiny stud. They didn't want to do it because they're like, it's not gonna last. It's like not worth having a scar. So, and I'm glad they actually told me that because I am very like impulsive, and when I want it now. They gave me great knowledge. Like, your skin usually rejects that type of stuff. So I'm glad I didn't do it. No scars. And now today I'm glad I don't have a piercing right there. Anyways, back on the topic. If your nose piercing has not healed yet, I'd recommend you clicking this video down here. This is the video that I originally filmed on my nose piercing. The only thing I use to clean my nose piercing is sea salt. I believe it is sea salt and filtered water, not just like tap water, like just like good water. If you can do it, use bottled water. And that's all I used. Whenever there was like a nasty little bubble appearing, I would create a paste and I would just like pile it on there when I go to sleep. And for me personally, I would wake up the next morning and that bubble would be either gone or drastically smaller. So if you're battling that, also if you have a bubble on the inside, you can do the same thing. But be careful not to sniff because that salt will burn. Someone asked me if I could do a tutorial changing out nose rings, and the easiest way. She says, I still have my original stud from over 1 year ago. And that's totally normal. When your nose ring is completely healed, you can change your piercing all like by yourself. You should not need any help. The type of studs that I really like are the bars, and they're flat on the inside and you just twist on the jewelry. I don't really like the hooks. Actually, I don't like the hooks at all because they poke, and if you have allergies, they're drama. So I had that at first. Also, when you are looking up, you can see that hook, and like sometimes, this might be TMI, but like it's embarrassing because I've seen people talking, because some people have a nose where you can like literally see straight through their nose. Thankfully, I have a nose that's kind of like more dropped down, but when you see little crusties on that thing, that's embarrassing. So I don't mess with those little twirly things you twirl into your nose. This one that I'm wearing now, I cannot put this in myself and I cannot take it out myself. It's kind of tough, so I'll just literally just go to HTC and have them change out my jewelry when I'm wearing this one. But I'm happy with it. I've been wearing it for about 1 year now. But any other time, I'll use this one, and you guys cannot even see it. There is a flat end. It's very flat, and that goes in my nose And then the jewelry is right here. So nice. And the jewelry just twists in. Look, I dropped it. As long as you have this little flat head, you can go to the jeweler or the piercing shop and get any other jewelry that you need, and you won't even need a head because they fit into the same one. And this is the jewelry piece. I'll just put it on the side of it. So that's easy peasy. Because then it's just like you're not really messing with too much. Just twist the jewelry on top of that. So if you're the type that really likes to change your jewelry out often, this will probably be a good route for you. Personally, I would not recommend using those little those things that screw into your nose. I don't like those at all. Someone else commented and said that she was afraid to take her nose piercing out because last time she messed with it, it closed. If you find that your piercing is not healing, check the jewelry that you're using. My piercer had told me about all the little things that some shops will do just to kind of save money on their end. And I'm not throwing shade toward anybody. I don't know any shops directly who does this. But I can kind of see, like when you go to those little stands in the mall and just get like cute nose jewelry, those are not necessarily something that your nose is going to heal with. So make sure you get quality jewelry. It wasn't until I faithfully continued to go to HTC for all of my jewelry that my nose piercing actually healed. And it is absolutely normal to have your original jewelry in for like a year, because I don't think my nose healed my nose never healed the first time. The second time around, I think it took me, I don't know, maybe like 6 months. I would say like 3 to 6 months before it wasn't even like tender at all anymore. But I noticed that it was like 100% healed within, I don't know, like 7 months to a year. And I felt comfortable. Like, I know that I can take my jewelry out and not have anything in my nose and it would not close by the time I got home. That's just not normal. And that means that your piercing isn't healed. So make sure you go to a quality shop and get some good jewelry. And like I said, if you have a bump on it, do a salt paste and that will knock it out. That really did the job for me. Another thing, if you're a makeup wearer, make sure you clean your makeup off of your piercing. Don't just go the whole day and have like makeup all around. I usually will take a Q-tip. If you can find the ones with like the pointier ends, get that one and just clean around that piercing. Witch hazel is another thing that I use, and that was just to make sure that I didn't get like any type of darkness around my piercing, which I don't have. So it's totally healed, and I'm going to leave the link to the video that I originally did down below because I think that it is a bit more informative than this one. Yeah, I really love my nose piercing, and I'm glad I did it again because it's actually healed. And there's nothing like the feeling of finally having your piercing heal. Like, I know too many people who still play around with, you know, the little cheapy jewelry at the mall, and their piercings are still having, you know, they still have a little bubble happening. If you have any more questions, we can treat the comment section below like a forum, and I'll answer your questions as they come. Peace and love. Bye.